I saw another thing about
National Treasure.
National Treasure.
Yeah. Yep.
And then to go as far as they're bringing back, not the original cast per se, but like the original directors and writers are going to be doing it. TV series format is what I believe it's going to be in. And it's about, I think it's about Nicolas Cage's son.
These are theories that I've heard as well. I feel so weird moving around in this shirt.
Yeah.
But these are theories that I feel like we have heard before, like in the recent months or in the last year or whatever. The TV series thing we've definitely heard as like a rumor. I'm still not positive that it's confirmed. The thing that I saw made it sound like it's still in the works. Maybe it's now like officially in the works, but I mean, what does that really mean?
And then, so I saw somebody tweet. It was a kid I used to play hockey with. Shout out to him. I could say, I mean, it's not, yeah. He tweeted, "Give me a National Treasure cinematic universe." Could you fucking imagine? I don't know how they do it. They'd have to create a lot of storylines, but I guarantee you I would be invested. I think now if you say that you have a cinematic universe, everybody just loves it. Like, I have to watch it all.
That's like the new...
It's a buzzword.
It's a buzzword. It's like the new Hollywood buzzword. Shit, I can't remember.
But imagine how cool it would be if, like... Because, I mean, we always see Nicolas Cage as the good guy fighting the bad guys. But, like, what if there was, like, other people out there hunting different treasures and hunting the same treasure? Like, you could have...
Yeah, here's how it would happen. It would be similar, in a sense, to the Infinity Stones. Because there would be different pieces that people would be collecting. But it'd be, like, Nicolas Cage's adventurer. Yeah, and then you have, Tony...
But
something, and he's like in China, like looking for this, or whatever.
But they're all like, you need all the pieces,
and yes, so they're all so
to find the treasure.
So like, let's say
they've already found the treasure.
I mean, let's just pitch some stuff. Let's just throw some things at the wall. So, there's like an ancient, like golden headdress, like Inca type headdress. I know they dealt with the City of Gold a little bit in the second one in Book of Secrets. Well, not a little bit. That was
the whole point of the movie. Yeah,
but some, or maybe like something that maybe it turns out like Attila the Hun had some kind of like crazy crown, and that crown was actually like granted him some kind of power. I think to make it work, you would have to put some type of mythical element into it, because you need something.
Because then you go Crystal Skull mode.
That's fair.
So this is how.
But let me this note before we continue. You need something powerful enough to get everybody together.
So what I think is that it starts with like one piece. Like, so say it starts with Nicolas Cage and he's out looking for just an artifact. Like, it's not a crazy treasure hunt. He's just looking for an artifact, like doing his thing. And he finds it, but it's more than what he just thought it. It's like one big cipher.
One cipher to rule
all ciphers. So then, as you dissect this cipher, like, so he dissects the whole thing pretty much over like that could almost be its own movie, like, because he needs to find stuff to do that, like different pieces. But once it's done, it's this whole like map of clues that points to like infinity, like 5 or 6 different objects. And then once you find all the objects, you can find the treasure of all treasure, like something.
Okay.
Something like, I think when you talk mythical, I think what you would do is bring religion into it. Like, bring like something that like
Da Vinci Code style.
Something that like says like we're gonna prove that like God exists or something like that, or like that, like somebody like of another power was like on Earth at some point in time to make this whole thing happen.
That still gets a little into Crystal Skull territory.
No, but that's alien-y. I'm not talking alien. I'm saying like it could be like any type of like Greek god. You know what I mean? Like all these like different, like somebody was here at some. Yes,
just a
creator.
More. Okay, I understand that. Let me see. So
you could even.
I think before we go any further, the key to this whole thing is what is the artifact that these pieces are, and what is the significance? Because again, it needs to be.
I don't think that's our job to solve.
Though.
I just pitched the idea. Somebody else write it.
But your idea doesn't have any bones because that core is completely missing.
But I'm not the bone guy. I'm the idea guy. It could be. Okay, so like I'm thinking like not the back of the Declaration of Independence. It can't really be the Holy Grail.
No,
it's been done too many times.
Yeah, a lot.
But like something that.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Something that like because the initial artifact that he's looking for, he has to be like more of a casual, like historic thing. Like he's like, you know what I mean? But somehow like that it's like nobody else has been able to find it, but it's not this crazy. But when he finds it, he realizes that there's so much more to it.
Yeah.
It's something that like maybe he wanted to find because he thought it was just a cool piece of history that he knows that he can hunt down because he's Nicolas Cage.
What I'm seeing is some kind of like vase or something, and it's got like a vase or maybe like a bracelet.
Imagine this.
Okay.
If you were gonna go like vase route.
Yeah.
It's a super famous vase.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Cage buys it in auction.
Yes.
And then he's with Riley. Riley accidentally drops and shatters the vase. The vase cracks into a ton of pieces, and they realize that if you put the pieces back together, like laid out from the inside, there's a cipher.
That's where the cipher is. Okay, that's excellent.
And then they're like, what is this cipher? And then they start to decode the cipher.
Like it's not complete. The cipher's not complete. There's clues to find the pieces to the other cipher, which are, they could be in anything. They could be in, like I said, bracelets or something. It could be more vases or whatever, but I think you can diversify that.
And I think at this point, it's very loosely, even once you figure out that now you're looking for different things, it's very loosely known what these things kind of like piece together.
What if it could be like a youth, but
it could be like I know. I'm trying to think of like it could be like so.
It could be something like just like Jesus's tomb. Could be something just like that.
Yeah, but I was just thinking almost like because it's more history based than like
could be just like Abraham Lincoln's tomb.
Yeah, but that's why I was saying. I wish that they didn't really touch so much on like the revolution and stuff like that in the first movie, because you could almost make a whole other storyline out of like, but at this point now it would just contradict everything that already happened in the first movie.
Yeah. So
like as if something crazy about like how America was actually found, or like, but you could go even further back in history then. The problem is Ben Gates is really all about American history.
Yeah.
So
Ben Gates is a patriot.
Yeah.
100%.
So it has to be within the... But it doesn't have to be just in the U.S., like as far as like where the stuff...
Of course
not.
But
like it has to tie back to something that has a serious impact on U.S. history that's like completely debunking what we've been being told our whole lives.
It could be some kind of history of the world in some sense, because that would still play a factor in America's creation, but it would have to be a little bigger, I think, something.
Yeah, I don't think that you can do just the history of the world, though, because I think it does have to come back into American history somehow.
Yeah, well, I think that's... What if that's... But we could just make it so that maybe just the vase at the beginning... Why he's buying it is because it has something to do with the revolution, and that's just like America's piece. So that's what gets him into it, right? That's what gets him. Yeah, that's what gets him
into it. He found America's piece.
Yes,
and now he needs to find. What if it's like there's a piece on like every continent?
That would be perfect. Yes. So then you have basically a core of 8 because you have Ben and Riley.
But you know what it is? The continental drift theory.
Okay.
Like, somehow all these pieces are going to eventually prove that at one point in time,
Pangea,
the Earth was just one big continent.
Is that the whole point, though?
No, there's more to it, but I think there should be a lot of shit like that, though. Like, I think that it should unravel in layers.
I think you're onto something. I think that the term Pangea, what if it's all keys?
What if Pangea is a cipher?
Pangea is definitely part of the cipher. What if it's just this? What if it's literally just the biggest treasure ever? And it was all collected through Pangea, and it's a collection of wealth from the entire world.
Stuff from the entire world that no longer exists because nobody ever even saw it in the first place, because it was all collected when Pangea, when the world was Pangea, and we don't know. We thought they were just cavemen, but really they were this huge advanced society that lived on this one huge continent.
We are getting into Atlantis territory. Is that where we want to go?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right. As long as I'm cool with it, I just want to make sure everybody's on board.
Atlantis would be a great thing for Nicolas Cage to do.
Okay, so
Nicolas Cage, and you know what is fucked up?
We cracked it.
You know what's fucked up? They actually gave this to us. They gave Atlantis to us in the very first movie. Do you want to know why?
You get it.
This is a small detail. So when Riley, what's her name? Abigail. When Riley, Abigail, and Ben Gates first flee to Philadelphia, and they go to Urban Outfitters to get new clothes, and they pay with cash, and he asks for the $100 bill back because he wants to take the water bottle and see what time the clock says. But she's like, I can't give you the $100 bill back. And he's like, here, take my watch as collateral. It's really expensive. It's a diving watch. So, yeah, I'm looking at you, folks. I'm looking at you. So now we know that Nicolas Cage has some diving experience, which means that he is on the hunt for fucking Atlantis. Are you shitting me?
And so all the pieces...
I don't know if we can release this episode because Disney might be fucking chomping on my horn trying to get this.
So all the pieces lead to the entrance to Atlantis, the Forgotten City, where buried is the greatest treasure ever, a collection of artifacts and wealth.
That was all established when the world was propaganda or whatever the fuck it's called.
Pangea. Yes.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Matthew, we just wrote... Look, this is...
We just created the National Treasure cinematic universe.
This is a funny podcast. We're just joking around. We're just kind of talking shit. This is $1 million idea. This is
when we say things on here, do we do we own that idea now?
Actually, yes, we do.
Fuck you, Disney. You can Chupapi Muñano, you can suck my fucking cock. Yeah, I'm fired up today. This idea has me fired up. We did it.
Matthew, not even.
And he's got tears coming out of his eyes, folks.
So do you.
No, I don't have tears.
Holy fuck, we might have to stop the episode right now because that's it. That's the idea for the next National Treasure.
Who would win of the week? Us versus Disney Corp. I think we come out. I think that's a lose-lose for us.
Yeah, 100%.
We should call it. What's another word for treasure? Quick.
Booty.
International booty.
National Treasure 3 Electric Boogaloo.
The International Booty.
The International Booty. Yeah, we don't. I mean, the title is the least important part, at least in the initial process.
No, but I'm saying if we had to go out on our own and make this idea by ourselves, International Booty would have to be the name of it.
That's a beautiful working title. That's phenomenal. We have to get in touch with these people because, you know how we had Ivy League on. They were talking about if you just go to the Mountain Dew website, there's a page that is contact us about a promotion. if we need to find, I hope Disney has a page like that. They definitely don't, but we need to find it.
You're gonna fucking be in Florida in 3 days. Get your ass down there and get involved. Put on a nice suit and take our company name and stuff, and like just try to make it look way more official than it is. Be like I'm an entertainment company. Like I have this idea to pitch you, and like walk in there like you demand, like you mean business.
I not only need to do this, should do this, I have an obligation to do it. To do exactly what you're saying.
In that shirt, actually. Don't even change your outfit.
This is the perfect pitch shirt. Like, I look like John Lasseter.
Yeah, you kind of look like a movie director. You got the beard, your hair. Yeah. Walk in with your own chair, wooden tall chair.
Just under my shoulder, and then... So,
I got an idea.
That's actually... I don't think they'd be able to say no to that. That's for sure.
I can't believe that anybody would say no to the idea that we just created.
It's so... I mean, that...
The only thing that sucks about it now is that now that it's out there for the public, it kind of ruins the excitement of what's going to happen. Because I
don't think so.
I think that you make it into like... I really think you go like cinematic universe and you make it like 5 or 6 different movies. Like you blow the whole thing up.
Yeah.
And you start off like... You start off with... He breaks it and he finds like the first artifact. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's an hour and 50 minutes right there.
So Harvey Keitel, the FBI agent, he obviously has to be like the Nick Fury of this. Like maybe he gets like promoted to Interpol, you know? I almost think that he runs like the Interpol like treasure department. Yeah, treasure division. So then at the end of the first one, we have Nick Cage, and he's like, oh, we just found this thing. And then Harvey Keitel obviously shows up, and he's like, it's been a while, Gates. And then he slides him a little folder, and he's like, these are of like pictures of cave paintings, because they can't be pictures of the actual artifacts. That's laying it all out on the table. That's like that's basically just like Justice League.
Or like
Whedon
pictures of like super old like text.
Yes.
That talks about like this.
Yes.
And he said, and this is exactly how it goes. Is he comes in so he shows up at the end of the first movie. He shows up and hands him this book.
Harvey Keitel does. Yes.
Hands Ben Gates' book, but we don't know what the book is. Mm-hmm. Movie ends. Second movie starts with.
Okay, so
were you shushing me?
No. I was thinking. Okay. Oh, sorry.
So then, so the second movie starts like right where the first one left off with like Nick Cage like looking at the books and Harvey saying, "Well, okay, but this is how the either way this is how it should play out though." Then Harvey says like, "You know, I'm at Interpol now. Like, we can't get involved as far as like being the ones to do it, but you can." Like, we're giving you permission to go do it. Like, we're going to, like, let you do your thing. But if other people start to, like, figure this out and, like, it becomes, like, you versus somebody else and, like, there's violence involved, we can't protect you from that other person.
Right. Something like if this becomes a public incident, then we can't protect you. And all they can do is kind of run diversion for them in the shadows in the meantime.
And diversion... Yes. Well, I don't even mean like public as in media like gets a hold of it. I mean like if another treasure hunter like starts like following this lead too and somehow figures out from a different way.
Gotcha. They can't be seen involved.
Like
that makes sense.
Like here we go. Say a treasure hunter in Asia found that counterpart.
Ooh, can I go?
Yeah.
So this is what happens in the second movie. In the second movie, we jump to Asia, and there is, in fact, already a full organization of bad guys who are looking for this treasure.
Are they kind of ninja, or is that like... Because I'm not saying that as like stereotype, but like
Can I please keep going just for a little bit before that?
Yeah,
because I just need to establish this.
I have a tweak, but go ahead.
So this group, and we'll flesh out the details of them whenever you want. So this group is already going for the artifact. Their one opposition is a young treasure hunter who's from that area. So the whole movie plays out. He is fighting them for the artifact. So now in this movie, we establish this guy is a good guy. We establish who the bad people are going to be throughout the series. And then at the very end of the second movie, it's this kid, it's this young treasure hunter going in. And then who walks into the room? We see a silhouette first, obviously, and then he comes into the light, Ben Gates. And he says, if you're going to find this, you're going to need a team.
Tweaks. I got tweaks.
Okay.
So spins on that. There's this organization.
Mm-hmm.
They know that the artifact that they have leads to this treasure, but their goal isn't to find it. They tried to find it like hundreds of years ago. And they were never successful. So their goal is no longer to find it, but to protect it and like keep the secret. But they're a bad organization. And so there's a young, super talented kid, like in all assets, like he's treasure hunter, assassin, he can do it all. And he's like, I want to find this. And they're like, no, we protect it and we just like kill people to keep them away from it, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, like this isn't right. Like, I'm not going to kill people for you. Like, so then he leaves the organization, has to go like underground because he is hiding from them while still trying to like do his own like minor research on the treasure without being seen. And then, but he's also the type of guy where like, he's so good at like everything. Like he's like wealthy. He has this whole like cyber like network that's his own, and he can like do all this technology stuff, right? So he, through the clouds, hears wind of this Ben Gates situation, and he shows up at Ben Gates' doorstep and says, listen, I'm not going to tell you how I know, but I know what's going on. He's like, and I have a plan, but you're not alone in this fight.
So that would happen at the end of 2, though. Because I think that this kid, I think the second movie needs to be good enough for this kid. I think it needs to be his movie, because like the Avengers way. Because if you have this group together, for it to be successful, everybody needs to be established that they're good enough on their own.
I actually think that the first what?
Okay, never mind. I thought we were fucked, but we're all good.
The first movie and the second movie play in the same exact timeline.
Yes.
Yep. And in the listen to this. Okay. At the end of the first movie, there's like somebody like secretly attacks Ben Gates, but he gets away and he doesn't know why. And then so the second movie plays out at the same timeline from the start to the finish of the first movie, but the second movie actually goes a little bit longer because that's how this new guy finds out that Ben Gates is hunting down the treasure too. So he approached him, and because Ben Gates at the end of the first movie, when an attack is placed on him and he gets away, he doesn't know why, he doesn't know who, he has no clue what's going on. Then we get the second movie, this storyline of this new kid, and then it ends with him like seeking out Ben Gates, showing up, and like dropping this bomb on him, like, hey, like you and me were on the same page. These bad guys, like they're.
I do think that it's better if Ben Gates finds him, because when we start to get into, because the same thing, because they're all happening at the same time, the 2 movies. I think it's still better if Ben Gates finds him, because Ben Gates is already obviously established in the audience's eyes, and with this kid finding Ben Gates, what we learn, we will in some ways be learning through him. So that will endear him to the audience even more.
And then I think at some point you also add in a spin-off prequel of this organization.
Yes.
That's hiding.
I think that should be maybe like at the end of 5 movie. Like I think that should maybe be that's like bad. After the series has been completed.
Well, we'll keep working through this.
Yeah.
But holy shit, folks, we're on to something.
I mean, that's it. Like that's what the show is.
Should be.
I mean, it has to be. Like there's no way that their idea.
I don't think that their idea is better than ours.
I mean, I can't imagine that it is, but.
Well, wow. That was like a lot we just did. Like we just accomplished.
And it was all very good.
Yeah.
If I do say so. Like it was very coherent. And
which is
like,
crazy because like after the past like 48 hours that I had, I was honestly walking in here thinking like this is gonna be a battle.
This is gonna be a rough episode.
And you want to know honestly what I think made the difference?
Yeah.
That famous bowl. There's a KFC on the way from my apartment to the studio. Stopped at it, got a famous. Sorry. Stopped at it, got a famous bowl.
I will say that when I spoke to you before you got here on the phone, you sounded really bad, and I was like, "Oh fuck, we're gonna have to do some serious."
I thought I was gonna have to battle, but we're kind of cruising.
But when you walked up the steps with the bag, you were clearly more chipper.
I mean, a famous bowl does that to you.